Hari Bol. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. We're going to start Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 3. I'm going to start with text 22. But before we do that, anybody has any questions from last week? Okay, all right. Then we'll do 22.
21.
21, okay, 21. All right, 21.
21. Yeah.
So this is basically the thought process that Krishna has to appear as Lord Chaitanya, and these are the details that have been brought here. So text 21 says, "Aapne na kaile dharma, shikhan na jaye, यही तो सिद्धांत Gita Bhagavate गाए." Translation: unless one practices devotional service himself, he cannot teach it to others. The conclusion is indeed confirmed throughout the Gita and Bhagavatam. So very simply, the point is, oh, hold on, please, just 1 second. Somebody sent me a message. I'll just check what that is. Okay, I have to just share the link with somebody. Just give me 1 second, please. Okay. Yeah, I'm back. So the point is, for example, if you take any sport, say cricket or tennis, how can anybody who's never played cricket or tennis teach somebody else how to play cricket or tennis? Somebody who's not studied medicine, how can he coach somebody to become a doctor? So the point is that Krishna is making is that unless you practice something yourself, you cannot teach it to others. So the same thing applies to devotional service. He's saying if someone has not practiced devotional service, he cannot teach it to others. Now in Kaliyuga, a lot of people try it. They have never done any devotional service themselves, and they try to teach it to other people. Or sometimes they smoke and they tell the kids to not smoke. I mean, it doesn't work. So you have to be practicing what you're preaching in order for your preaching to be effective. So here Krishna is saying basically the same thing, that if I haven't practiced myself, how can I do it? Now, does Krishna do any devotional service? How many rounds does he chant when he comes here? How many artis does he perform? No, because he's being served himself. Even though he does not really say, I'm God, and if he does, nobody would believe him anyway, but still, he's not doing a lot of devotional service. Every once in a while, his mother will force him to do some Gayatri mantra or chant Narayan's name. Different, but otherwise, there's no regular routine that he has. Only when he went to Dwarka and got married, then he had some routines, like Gayatri mantra and other things, giving in charity. But otherwise, he didn't practice devotional service. Certainly not that kind that he's talking about here. Okay. The text 22. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirabhavati bharata abhithanam adharmasya tadatmanam sajamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice or descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. So, I mean, it's a very famous verse from the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna is basically saying, whenever there's decline in religious practices and rise of irreligion, then I descend or I manifest myself. And then he says, another reason he gives, Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkratam, dharma sansthapanarthaya, sambhavami juge juge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principle of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Now, it's very interesting. These two verses are very interesting because really Krishna doesn't have to appear for either of these two reasons. He can send his incarnations. He can send somebody like Vyasadeva to establish the religion, religious principles. He can send somebody like Srila Prabhupada to establish the religious principles and the religion. He doesn't have to come himself. Similarly, to deliver the pious. The word sadhu is very interesting, actually. The real meaning of sadhu is not just pious, although that's the normal translation, and that's what's given here. But sadhu actually means pure devotees. So does Krishna really need to protect pure devotees? Who's protecting pure devotees? Any thoughts?
Krishna?
I'm sorry?
Krishna?
Well, yes, the answer is yes, but even before that, think Prahlad Maharaj.
Our acharyas.
Acharya?
Okay. Think Prahlad Maharaj. Who was protecting Prahlad Maharaj when he was being thrown in the well with full of serpents and scorpions? He was being thrown to the mountaintop. Huh?
Vasudev and mantra. The remembering of
Okay.
our
Okay. So mantra, the holy name, yes, correct. So the holy name of the Lord was protecting him.
yes.
So Lord Nrsimha appeared much, much later. Prahlad Maharaj had already gone through so much.
Yeah.
You know, being stormed by elephants,
Yeah.
being boiled in oil, being sat in the fire with his aunt, Holika, you know, being speared by the tridents and all those kind of things. Hiranyakashipu tried everything he could. But Nrsimha wasn't there, but his name was there to protect, right? So my point is, Krishna doesn't have to come here to protect the sadhus because they're already protected by the holy name, right? So that cannot be a real reason. To annihilate the miscreants, that cannot be the real reason because, I mean, he's sitting there as Paramatma. All he has to do is extend his hand and turn the valve off. That's it. Demon is done. He doesn't have to do anything. Right? So that cannot be a real reason either. Those are what you call external reasons and the reasons for the appearance of his incarnations. So he can do some pastimes to attract people, non-devotees, to him. And of course, give pleasure to the pure devotees and to satisfy their desires. Okay? So that cannot be the real reason either. Then he goes on, text 24. Usideyur imeloka nakuriyam karma chedaham shankarasya chakarta sham uphanyam imah prajaha. If I did not show the proper principles of religion, all these worlds would fall into ruin. I would be the cause of unwanted population and would spoil all these living beings. So he said, I have to act in a certain way. I have to show people what the proper principles of religion are. Otherwise, everybody will become irreligious and the world will go, into ruin. It says, fall into ruin. Finish, everything will be finished. So to protect that, I have to do some of these things. And similarly, if there are no religious principles, the women will become unchaste, men will run around, there will be so much unwanted progeny, it'll be just, whole world will become nonsense. And we can see it's happening. For example, in France, which is probably one of the most godless country in the world, more than 80% of the people don't get married. They just live together. And more than 60% of children are out of wedlock. So, I mean, it's a country in example right in front of us. And Krishna is saying, yeah, when you don't believe in me or if I don't show you, then that's what will happen. And then he says, because 25, yajat acharat shreshthas tattat ev tarojana sayat pramanam kurute lokas tat anuvartate. Whatever actions a great man performs, common people follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So Krishna is saying, I'm a great person and people will follow me. If I don't show them the standards, again, as we were discussing, the whole world will fall into ruins. So the tendency of the common man is to follow great men.
Yep.
So they will do that, right? And similarly, a great man sets up standards by his own exemplary acts, then the world pursues those standards. So what standards did Srila Prabhupada set up for us? Any thoughts?
Minimum 16 rounds chanting daily.
Yes, absolutely. What else?
4 regulative principles.
4 regulatory principles. Yes, what else?
No Vaishnava
Deity
path.
worship.
Deity worship.
Deity worship.
Yes.
Read the scriptures.
Read the scriptures. Absolutely. Yes.
Sadhu Sangha.
Sadhu Sangha. Yes.
Various devotional services, Prabhu.
Yeah, various different services. Exactly. So he set those standards. There's one other standard that we haven't heard yet, and that is follow the instructions of your Guru Maharaj. Probably the most important. Whatever Prabhupada did, he said, I'm doing it because my Guru Maharaj instructed me to do it. I'm simply following his instructions. And the best way to make progress is to simply follow instructions of your Guru. What was the last commitment that Arjun made in Bhagavad Gita? I'll give you a hint.
I surrender myself to you now.
No,
Ah,
Karishye
no.
Vachanam Tava, something like that.
Yes. I
Karishye
surrender
Vachanam
myself,
Tava.
yes, but surrender means I shall follow all your instructions. Karishye
Yes.
Vachanam Tava.
Yep.
That's the standard Srila Prabhupada set up for us.
Yep.
Okay. So Krishna is saying that that's what happens. Now let's go to 26. Yuga dharm pravartan hoy ansha haite ama bina anya nare braj prema dite. My plenary portions can establish the principles of religion for each age. No one but me, however, can bestow the kind of loving service performed by the residents of Vraja. So this is what I was saying before. His incarnations can come.
Yes.
Establish the principles of religion. Right? What was the main point that Lord Ram made when he came here? What is he known as? Something title of Lord Ram.
Purushottam.
Maryada Purushottam.
Maryada.
Maryada Purushottam.
Hold the traditions.
Hold the traditions.
Right?
Yep.
That's what is so Lord Ram could do that. Lord Nrsimhadev can kill the miscreants. What's his name? Hiranyakashipu. Lord Varadev can kill, Hiranyaksha, so on and so forth. So they can do all that. He says, I don't need to come for this. Krishna is talking about Bhagwan Swam Krishna. Right? So this is why he comes very rarely. So how rarely does he come? Once in what?
Brahma's day.
Brahma's day. How
Day
long
of,
is that?
yeah.
How long is that in earth years?
300,000 billion.
No. One day of Brahma is 8.6 billion years.
Yeah.
That's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's put it this way. That is as long as 2 Satyugs, 2 Treta Yugs, 2 Dwapar Yugs, and 2 Kali Yugs combined. I'm sorry, I didn't say that right. You have 71 Manvanta, 1,000 Chaturyugis in that day. Sorry, yeah. Okay, so that's how long that is. Okay, so Krishna is saying, so that's not my reason. That's not why I want to come. This Krishna is Bhagavan Swam speaking. He's saying, however, no one but me can bestow the kind of loving service performed by the residents of Vraja. So now what was so special about the residents of Vraja and their love for Krishna? Let's just have that discussion. What was so special about them?
They worship Krishna with love. Love. Their service is life full of love.
Well,
Loveful service.
a devotee of Lord Ram also loves him.
Okay. The people, they don't see that this boy is
The full surrender.
is a god. They don't
They don't see his God. Okay, that's one point. Yes, I
Yes.
agree.
Yeah, yes, one. And then they
What
full
else?
surrender themselves to him too.
They fully
Full
surrender to him.
surrender.
Full surrender to him. Yes.
They were doing it for Krishna's pleasure, whatever they did.
Okay.
Yes.
What else? Something
They
very
worship
important,
in
because
Madhurya Ras. Madhurya Ras.
that's one of the ras.
Hmm.
Right? There are 5. So that's one of them.
Mhm.
It's correct. You're right. But something very important you're still missing. Because devotees of Lord Ram also love him. They also please him. So what's the difference? And Mother Sita loved him with Madhurya Ras, in Madhurya Ras. But there was some difference. Think. Okay. Before before you start thinking so hard that you get into samadhi, I would answer the question. Okay. So I just realized that everybody's on no video today for some reason. Anyway, except for very few people. Anyway, so in addition to not recognizing that Krishna is God, they actually considered themselves, most of them consider themselves either equal to or greater than Krishna. And this is the beauty of Vraja, because if you look at Upanishad by the name of Shvetashvatar Upanishad, it says there that natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, natasya samo abhiadhikasya dashate, parasya shakti vividhav shruyate, swabhaviki jnana bal kriya. It says that natasya sama means nobody is equal to Krishna, abhiadhikasya, not greater than Krishna. So Upanishad is saying nobody is equal to or greater than Krishna. Krishna's friends are saying, "Tumi kono bada? Tum kaun se bade ho gaye? How come you are bigger? You think I'm bigger than you? I can beat you wrestling. You don't believe me? Come, I challenge you. Let's fight." And Krishna says, "No, I know you can beat me." Mother Yashoda says, "What are you doing? Stop doing this. Stop stealing this and that. You don't listen to me, I'm going to bind you." She binds him. She yells at him. Even Lord Balaram, you all know this story, but I'm just going to say it anyway. After Damodar Lila and after the deliverance of the 2 trees, Nalkuvar Manigriv, when they fell, there was a big noise. So Nanda Maharaj and others came running to see if there was another demon, what happened. And they saw Lord Krishna sitting between the 2 trees, tied up with the mortar and the rope. And so he released him, which again shows the greater, or the greatness, I should say greaterness of the devotee, because the devotee is liberating the Lord. I mean, how does that work? But here the devotee is liberating the Lord. Anyway, so he untied the rope, took him to another place, because Krishna said, "I don't want to see my mother." So he took him to his office. And Lord Balaram was there. He got very angry when he heard that Mother Yashoda tied him up. So he went in big anger. He went to her and said, "Why did you tie him?" In a very angry tone, he asked. Which is not the culture those days. These days, kids don't care. They're always shouting at their mother and father. But those days, no, it wasn't done. Anyway, so in a very angry tone, he said, "Why did you do that?" And Mother Yashoda was already upset. So she got angry at him and said, "What's it to you? My son, I bound him." And Lord Balaram said, "But don't you understand who he is?" I said, "No, I don't understand. Tell me, what do you think he is? Who do you think he is?" And Lord Balaram said, "He's Supreme Personality of Godhead." I said, "Yeah, really? And who are you?" Now Balaram said, "I have to tell him the truth also." He says, "I am also Supreme Personality of Godhead." And she said, "All the Supreme Personalities of Godhead to be born here in my house. Either you run away now, I'm going to tie you up too." And Balaram was so scared, he ran away. So that is the devotee mood in Vraja. Mother Kaushalya never did that,
Mhm.
right? Mother Aditi never did that. Mother Devuti never did that. She was always folding her hands and saying, my Lord, please explain this to me or that to me. But Yashoda was saying, hey, rascal, come back here. Another time she was calling Krishna back from the forest because he was so busy playing. And she kept calling him and he kept saying, just 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes, and hours went by. And finally she went out there and said, either you come now, I'm not going to allow you back in my house again, ever again. So you decide. And she walked back. Now who threatens the Lord like that? Only the Vrajavasi can do that. So many, many, millions of examples like that. But Krishna is saying, that is the mood I want to establish. But any of my other incarnations have not experienced that. So if not experienced that, not practiced that, how can they teach somebody else? So only I, who has experienced that mood, who has experienced that mellow, who has interacted in that mellow with the devotees in those mellows, only I can teach that. Therefore, I have to go and teach the people of the world what that mellow is, what that Vraja mood is, what that Vraja rasa is. So he's saying, I have to go. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay. Text 27. Santu avatara bahava pankaj nabhasya sarvato bhadraha krishnad anya ko valatasu api premado bhavati. Translated. There may be many all auspicious incarnations of the personality of Godhead, but who other than Lord Krishna can bestow the love of God upon the surrendered souls? So now it's very interesting. What is the difference between a devotee of Lord Ram who loves him? Let's take the extreme examples. Lord Lakshman, Mother Sita, Mother Kaushalya. I mean, you can't doubt their love for Krishna. You can't doubt their devotion to Krishna, right? But who other than Lord Krishna can bestow the love of God upon the surrendered soul? So why is he saying that? What is the difference? What is the difference? It's been answered already in this class, but I want to make sure you can connect it. What is the difference between the love of the devotees of Lord Ram and love of the devotees of Lord Krishna? I'm talking about the bridge mood.
So the devotees of Lord Ram are in awe and reverence mood?
Right. Always in awe and reverence. Always. There never is a time when they forget his God. And that became a problem for Lord Ram. When he said, I want friends. I want to have friends, buddies. But anybody I call my friend, if I want to hug him, before I can wrap my arms around him, he's down on my feet, offering obeisances. Take the example of Vibhishan, Hanumanji, Nishadraj. I mean, they were Lord Ram's friends, but they were always at his lotus feet. What kind of friendship is that? On the other hand, Krishna's friends, they'll climb over his shoulder. They'll throw him out of the game. They threatened him, if you go home because you say Mother Yashoda is calling you, then don't bother coming back playing with us. They're basically forcing him to disobey his mother. And Krishna says, okay, I'll disobey my mother. I'm afraid of you, not afraid of her. Right? That's the mood Krishna is talking about. Is I want to taste and I want to show that mood. Okay? And this is the beginning. These are the external reasons. You haven't got to that internal reasons yet. It gets really interesting after that. Anyway, let's keep going. Text 29. Oh, sorry, text 28. Tahate apanna bhakta ganakari sange prithvi te avatari karimunana range. Therefore, in the company of my devotees, I shall appear on earth and perform various colorful pastimes. So, as you know, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, certainly after Lord Nrsimhadev's appearance, Krishna does not appear in any reincarnation without other people. So the parents appear, friends appear, the other relatives appear, devotees appear. So let's talk about who appeared when Krishna appeared, or before, or at the time, or immediately after. Give me some examples of people who appeared to help Krishna do his pastimes.
Yashoda Maiya came.
Of course, the parents, yes, of course. Who else?
Balram.
Okay, okay, yes.
Uh,
All the friends of
Nand,
Krishna.
Nand Maharaj.
Nanda Maharaj, yeah, the parents, Nanda Maharaj, the friends, yes. Who else?
Radha
Demigods.
Rani.
Hmm?
The cowherd boys.
Yeah, the friends
Radha
of
Rani.
God.
Demigods.
I'm sorry.
Demigods.
Demigods, yes, absolutely. How did they appear? What role?
They appear like some are appear in form of forest, trees, and all the Brajvasis. Some of them,
Govardhan.
not all.
No,
Like
actually, the demigods, very few. Yes, some did, but very few. But most of them appeared in the Yadukul, in Dwarka Lila. So as his family.
no, Lord Brahma appeared when he took away all the cows for a year.
What about that?
Lord Brahma appeared, like you're talking about the demigods.
Yeah, okay, but that's not appearance I was thinking about. I was talking about appearance that who spend time with him.
Radha Rani Prabhu.
Radharani, yes, Mataji. Yes, thank you. Okay, so some examples we discussed. And so Krishna is saying, so I'll appear with all these people and I'll perform some really colorful pastimes. Okay, 29. Et bhavi kali kale prathama sandhyaye avatirna hoila Krishna apani nadi aaye. So, translation, thinking thus, the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna himself, descended at Nadia early in the age of Kali. Somebody wants to read the purport? There's one paragraph here.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Mataji.
The Pratham Sandhya is the beginning of the age. What is the Pratham? No. How to pronounce Pratham? Pratham.
Pratham.
Pratham Sandhya is the beginning of this age. According to astronomical calculation, the age is divided into 12 parts. The first of these 12 divisions is known as the Pratham Sandhya. The Pratham Sandhya and Shesh Sandhya, the last division of preceding age, form the junction of the two ages. According to the Surya Siddhant, the Pratham Sandhya of the Kaliyuga lasts 36,000 solar years. Lord Chaitanya appeared in the Pratham Sandhya after 4,586 solar years of Kaliyuga had passed.
Thank you. So this is a very interesting concept. So when 2023 will turn into 2024, is there any overlapping period? I love the way everybody's thinking.
The midnight.
No, there's no overlapping period. It's a 2023 finishes at midnight, 24 starts. There's no overlapping, right? It's like fall off the cliff, right? Everybody agree? Yes, no?
We have no knowledge of all these things.
No, you sure you do. What happens after 23 is finished and 24 starts? Is there any overlap?
I don't think so, Prabhuji. It's like
No.
next moment it starts away, right?
Exactly. The next moment, the new year starts.
Yeah.
Okay? So there's no overlap. But that's
Yeah.
not what happens when the ages change. So when Dwapar finishes, Kaliyuga starts, there's an overlapping period. So I'm going to
Okay.
explain that to you. Okay? So now it's explaining in the purport that each age is divided into 12 parts. Okay? Now, how many years are in the age of Kali? Who knows?
4.2 billions.
1,000 years.
No.
So
How many years?
432,000.
4,32,000.
Exactly. 432,000 years.
Yeah.
So if you divide that by 12, anybody good in math?
3 point something.
No, not 3 point.
No, not
36,000.
point.
Okay.
36,000.
36,000. Yes, actually, it's right here. That's what I was asking. So each of the 12 parts is 36,000 years. So what happens is the last part is known as Shesh Sandhya. Shesh means the remainder, but it's the last part. The first part is called as Pratham. Pratham means first. So Pratham Sandhya. Okay. So the beginning is Pratham Sandhya, end is Shesh Sandhya. Right? Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Now, there is an overlap between Shesh, the last Sandhya of Dwapar, and the first Pratham Sandhya of Kaliyuga. Okay, with me so far?
Yes, Prabhu.
And that overlapping period is 250 years. So it's not a fall to the next age, like the year 23 goes to 24. So there's an overlapping. Okay, and that's why the word Sandhya is used, because Sandhya is what? It's neither day nor night. Right? So similarly, in that period, it's neither Dwapar nor Kaliyuga.
Okay.
So that's the overlap period. Anyway, that was just a aside. It's trying to impress you guys. And the point is here that Lord Chaitanya appears in the first Sandhya, the Pratham Sandhya. Okay, remember that's 36,000 years long, but Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya only 4,586 years into it. Okay, everybody with me?
Prabhu, can you repeat the last line, please?
Lord Chaitanya appeared in the Pratham Sandhya, which is first Sandhya of the age of Kali, when Kaliyuga was only 4,586 years old.
So, Prabhu, does that 250 years included in that?
Yes, yes.
So basically, it falls into the next age.
That's in the Kaliyuga. That's it. Dwapar is gone now.
Yeah, but that 250 just जो बीच का period होता है वो कली का period होता है.
No, it's both. That's what's called overlap. So before 250 years before Dwapar finishes, Kaliyuga starts. That's where the overlap of 250 years.
Oh,
Think like a Venn diagram. Do you know Venn diagram?
yes, Prabhu, I understand what you're saying now. So, like before the current period over 250 years before the Kaliyug started.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, understood now, Prabhu.
And
Thank
that's
you
why
very
it's
much.
overlap. Sure, no problem. Okay, anybody has any other question? Like, I mean, it's an unnecessary detail. I gave it to you, but I kind of like math, so I like numbers, so I throw them away. Okay.
So, Prabhuji, we are in Pratham Sandhya right now, correct?
Yes, we are in Pratham Sandhya. I thought you were going to say, yeah, I am in first grade, which is true for me anyway. Okay, so let's go to text 30.
Prabhuji, why divide by 12, Prabhu?
Oh, it's like the grihas are divided into 12, clocks divided into 12, things like that. Just that's how they do it. It seems like a convenient number. This happened millions of years ago. That's what they decided. Okay, 12 is a very important number in our astronomy.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay. Text 30. Chaitanya Singh here, Navadvipe Avatar, Singhagriv, Singhavirya, Singhero Hunkar. Thus, the lion-like Lord Chaitanya has appeared in Navadvip. He has the shoulders of a lion, power of a lion, and the loud voice of a lion. Text 31. Sei sing basuk jivere hridaya kandare kalmash dirad nashe jahar hunkare. Translation. May that lion be seated in the core of the heart of every living being. Thus, with his resounding roar, may he drive away one's elephantine vices. So this is Krishna's Kaviraja's prayer, that may he lie in the heart of everybody. 32. Now it's talking about different names that Lord Chaitanya got. Text 32 says, Pratham Lilayatar Vishwambhara Naam Bhakti Raset Bharil Dharil Bhutagram. In his early past times, he is known as Vishwambhar. As Vishwambhar because he flushed the world with the nectar of devotion and thus saves the living beings. So this is going to be explained in the next verse. I'm not going to comment. We'll wait for the next couple of verses, then explain it. Text 33. Dubhra dhatura arth poshan dharan pushil dharile prem diya tribhuvana. Translation. The verbal root dubhra, which is the root of the word Vishwambhar, indicates nourishing and maintaining. He, Lord Chaitanya, nourishes and maintains the three worlds by distributing love of God. So we in the material world, when we talk about portion, nourishment, we talk about maintenance. What are we talking about? Our body, right? But in the spiritual world, in the spiritual context, we're not talking about the body. We're talking about
So,
soul. So we know what the food for our body is. What is the food of our soul? What's the food for our soul?
Harinam.
Harinam. Yes,
Harinam.
exactly right. Harinam, the holy name. So he's saying, I distribute the holy name, but not just distribute holy name. Something very important. The ingredient of that dish is what? What's the main ingredient of the dish of holy name?
chanting,
No. The main ingredient.
Love for
Love,
God.
exactly.
love.
So Lord Chaitanya is saying, I'll give that love. So when you chant the holy name, you chant with love.
Yep.
Okay. So Vishwambhar means the one, Vishwa means the whole world. And Amba again means nourishing and maintaining. So he is maintaining and nourishing the whole world, but not their bodies. And this is what majority of the people in Kaliyuga miss, because they keep complaining about, so why is ISKCON involved in all the distribution of the holy name and opening the temples? Why don't they feed the hungry? Well, the problem with feeding the hungry is only feeding their body. Who's going to feed their soul? By the way, they do feed the body also, because during COVID 3 years, ISKCON in India alone distributed 7.5 crore plates of prasadam.
Yep.
That's like, I think it's like 75 million plates. So anyway, Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya are more interested in saving the soul than the body. 34. Shesh Lilaye Dhare Naam Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Janaye Sab, Vishwa Kail Dhanya. In his later past times, he is known as Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya. He blesses the whole world by teaching about the name and fame of Lord Shri Krishna. So, what does the word Chaitanya itself mean? Anybody?
What's the question?
What is the word meaning of Chaitanya?
Consciousness.
Yes, they would need a correct.
Consciousness. Chaitanya.
Chaitanya
Living
means
force,
conscious-
Prabhu.
Living force. That's the
Yeah,
living
consciousness.
Chaitanya, consciousness.
Correct. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya means the one who's always conscious of Krishna and is making everybody else conscious of Krishna. That is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Okay. This is the purport. Somebody wants to read the purport?
I can read, Prabhu.
Go ahead, Shalini Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya remained a householder only until his 24th year had passed. Then he entered the renounced order and remained manifest in this material world until his 48th year. Therefore, his Sesha Lila, or the final portion of his activities, lasted 24 years.
Thank you. Sorry, I just want to explain this first. So, Lord Chaitanya was 24 years old when he took sannyas. So, therefore, his life is divided into two parts, pre-sannyas and post-sannyas. Okay. So, post-sannyas is called Shesh Lila and pre-sannyas called Pratham Lila. Now, which form of Lord Chaitanya do we worship?
Just after sannyas, before head shaving.
Yes, that's right.
I remember.
You remember that. I was hoping that you do. Yes. So that's the form. Why is that? Why don't we worship him, properly, like when his head was shaved?
After some, maybe people will not like him in that form, with shaved head.
No.
Because of his hair, Prabhu?
Beautiful.
Curly.
Prabhuji, you told the devotees were crying when he was getting head
Yes,
shaved.
yes, it's very painful.
It's getting emotional for him. Yes.
Yeah, it's very painful to see him without his beautiful hair.
Okay.
So even today, devotees say, no, we're going to worship the form with hair. He's taken sannyas, yes, I agree. His name is Krishna Chaitanya, I agree. But before he shaves his head, it's too painful. Okay. All right. So first part, 24 years. Second part, 24 years. Okay. Let's do the next paragraph. Go ahead, Shalini Mataji.
Some so-called Vaishnavas say that the renounced order of life was not accepted in the Vaishnava Sampradaya or disciplic succession until Lord Chaitanya. This is not a very intelligent proposition. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the sannyasa order from Sripada Keshava Bharati, who belonged to the Sankara sect, which approves of only 10 names for sannyasis. Long before the advent of Sripada Sankaracharya, however, the sannyasa order existed in the Vaishnava line of Vishnu Swami. In the Vishnu Swami Vaishnava Sampradaya, there are 10 different kinds of sannyasa names and 108 different names for sannyasis who accept the Tridanda, the triple staff of sannyasa. This is approved by the Vedic rules. Therefore, Vaishnava sannyasa was existent even before the appearance of Shankaracharya. Although those who know nothing about Vaishnava sannyasa unnecessarily declare that there is no sannyasa in the Vaishnava Sampradaya.
Right. So I like the way Prabhupada has written the purport. He started by saying some so-called Vaishnavas. So saying people who question this, they're not even Vaishnavas, but they're trying to pretend to be Vaishnavas. Anyway, so they say that the sannyas order is not allowed or accepted in Vaishnava Sampradaya. And Prabhupada is proving that that is not true. That's not a correct statement. It was allowed, and he gives the example of Vishnu Swami sect, which is one of the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, bona fide Vishnu Sampradayas. And it is allowed, and they're talking about the 10 different types of names of the sannyas and 100 different names of sannyasis. He'll elaborate that on that a little bit later on. But his point is that, so stop talking nonsense, it was allowed. Okay, go ahead.
Prabhu, somebody else wants to read?
Sure, somebody wants to read? Next paragraph.
I can read.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
During the time of Lord Chaitanya, the influence of Shankaracharya in society was very strong. People thought that one could accept sannyas only in the disciplic succession of Shankaracharya. Lord Chaitanya could have performed his missionary activities as a householder. but he found householder life an obstruction to his mission. Therefore, he decided to accept the renounced order, sannyasa. Since his acceptance of sannyasa was also designed to attract public attention, Lord Chaitanya, not wishing to disturb the social convention, took the renounced order of life from a sannyasi in the disciplic succession of Shankaracharya, although sannyasa was also sanctioned in the Vaishnava Sampradaya.
Right. Thank you, Prabhu. So again, very interesting. First point is that in those days, the impersonalists were very prominent. And Shankaracharya, of course, was a very prominent guru. Everybody was following him. And like huge following of Shankaracharya at that time. And the belief was that one could accept sannyas order only in the disciplic succession of Shankaracharya. Certainly not Vaishnava. Now, what happened was that Lord Chaitanya was almost 24 years old at that time. His father had passed away. He had married for the second time. What was the name of the wife? Second wife?
Lakshmi Priya and Vishnu Priya.
No, second wife.
Vishnu
Priya. So Vishnu Priya she was like at that time 16 years old. I think she got married when she was 14. And this is 2 years later we're talking about. Anyway, so wife and an old mother. And then he went to Gaya to perform the Shraddha ceremony for his father who had passed away. And there he met, who did he meet there? Shrimad Ishwar Puri. Shrimad Ishwar Puri. And he got his initiation from him. And immediately after that, he became a pure devotee and almost mad in devotion. So much so that he almost did not come back to Navadvip from, what's the name? Something Natyashala. What's the name of the place? Kanai Natshala. From there, he started running away to Vrindavan. And actually, there had to be Akashvani, voice from the sky. We said, my dear Lord, you're supremely independent. You can do whatever you like. But please allow us to remind you that it's not time yet for you to go to Vrindavan. So then Lord Chaitanya stopped. He came home. But he stopped teaching. He's known for his teachings. As a teacher, logic and grammar. And he stopped teaching and started connecting everything to Krishna. People started thinking he was mad, and they started becoming very offensive to him. And his concern was that I'm a devotee now. People are offending me, so they're getting Vaishnava Aparad, which is not good for them. So to stop that, I would take sannyas. Because even in this time and age, people are respectful of sannyasis. So if I become sannyasi, they will stop insulting me, they stop mocking me, they start making fun of me, and therefore they'll avoid committing the Vaishnava Aparad. So it was in that mood that he said, okay, I'm going to take sannyas. Not worrying about his 16-year-old wife or very old mother. Now, next thing was, okay, so he is a devotee, and how can he accept sannyas order from an impersonalist? How can he accept impersonal mantra? So actually, those of you who have read Chaitanya Bhagavat, it mentions there by Vrindavan Das Thakur. It's mentioned that actually he whispered the Gopal mantra in the ear of Keshav his would-be guru. And then Keshav turned around and gave that mantra to Lord Chaitanya as the initiation mantra. So he accepted Gopal mantra, not any impersonalist mantras. So that's the other point I want to make sure you all know, that that's what happened. Second thing was basically saying here that because everybody knew Lord Chaitanya and everybody found out his sannyas, if it took in a sect which is not so popular at that time, it will become another controversy. So to avoid the controversy, Lord Chaitanya took initiation in the impersonalist sect, but the mantra was Vaishnava mantra. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, let's move on. Next paragraph, please.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead.
In the Shankara Sampradaya, there are 10 different names awarded to sannyasis. Tirth, Ashram, Van, Aranya, Giri, Parvata, Sagra, Saraswati, Bharti, and Puri. Before one enters sannyas, he has one of the various names for a brahmachari, the assistant to a sannyasi. Sannyasi with the titles Tirth and Ashram generally stay at Dwarka, and their brahmachari's name is Swarupa. Those known by the names Vana and Aranya stays at Purushottam or Jagannath Puri, and their brahmachari name is Prakasha. Those with the name of Giri, Parvata, and Sagra generally stayed at Badrika Ashram, and their brahmachari names is Ananda. Those with the title Saraswati, Bharti, and Puri usually live at Sringeri in South India, and their brahmachari name is Chaitanya.
Okay. So the last line is the more relevant to us. Those with the title Saraswati, Bharti, and Puri usually live Sringeri in South India. Anybody been to Sringeri? Beautiful place. And their brahmachari name is Chaitanya. So just that's the more pertinent. Let's move to the next paragraph. Anybody?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead.
Sripad Sankaracharya established 4 monasteries in India in the 4 directions north, south, east, and west, and he entrusted them entrusted them to 4 sannyasis who were in disciplines. Now there are hundreds of branch monasteries under these 4 principal monasteries, and although there is an official symmetry among them, there are many differences in their dealings. The 4 different sects of these monasteries are known as Anandavara, Bhogavara, Kitavara, and Bhumivara. In the course of time, they have developed different ideas and different slogans.
Okay, yeah, keep on, because there's nothing much to add in this. Go ahead, next paragraph.
According to the regulations of the disciplic succession, one who wishes to enter the renounced order of Shankara sect must first be trained as brahmachari under the bona fide sannyasi. The brahmachari's name is ascertained according to the group to which sannyasi belong. Lord Chaitanya accepted sannyasa from Keshav Bharati. When he first approached Keshav Bharati, he was accepted as a brahmachari with the name Shri Krishna Chaitanya Brahmachari. After he took sannyas, he preferred to keep the name Krishna Chaitanya.
Thank you. So if you go back 2 paragraphs, the last line we were talking about, the Saraswatis, Bharati, and Puri, their brahmachari name is Chaitanya. So same thing, because he came to Bharati, his first brahmachari name was Shri Krishna Chaitanya Brahmachari. That's Lord Chaitanya's name. Now, you'd expect that he would, once he gets sannyas, he'll accept one of these names, Bharati or Puri or something. That's explained in the next paragraph, what he did. So somebody wants to read the next paragraph?
I will read, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, please, Prabhupada.
Yeah. The great authorities in the disciplic succession had not offered to explain why Lord Chaitanya refused to take the name Bharati after he took sannyasa from Bharati, until Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj volunteered the explanation that because sannyasi in the Shankara Sampradaya thinks that he has become the Supreme Lord Chaitanya, wanting to avoid such a misconception, kept the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya, placing himself as an eternal servitor. Brahmachari is supposed to serve the spiritual master. Therefore, he did not negate that relationship of servitude to his spiritual master. Accepting such a position is favorable for the relationship between the disciple and the spiritual master.
Right. Thank you. So, beautiful explanation. Why did not take the title Bharati? He said, because impersonalists believe they are God. And Lord Chaitanya said, no way. I'm not God. I want people to think they can become God. Therefore, I just keep the name Shri Krishna Chaitanya, which means I'm always conscious of God. And I'm going to make everybody else conscious of God, Krishna. And therefore, he just kept the name Shri Krishna Chaitanya. And did not add Bharti to his sannyas name. But he remained, or rather, he retained his spirit of serving the spiritual master, because that's the best kind of relationship between disciple and the spiritual master. Okay. The authentic biographies also mention that Lord Chaitanya accepted a danda, a rod, and begging pot, the kamandal, symbolic of sannyas order. Okay, so he did accept that, but later on we'll hear how Lord Nityananda broke all that. He didn't want Lord Chaitanya to be carrying this. Anyway, any questions on this long purport?
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Bolo.
Prabhuji, somewhere I heard, I don't remember in some discourses, is it true like that Adi Shankaracharya, he was like माने जैसे अवतार हैं वैसे वो भी शिवा के अवतार थे एंड सिंस शिव जी इज द ग्रेटेस्ट डिवोटी ऑफ कृष्णा so this is another reason like why he took sannyas from this sect.
Possible. I haven't heard that. It's possible. But the issue is that it's not Shankaracharya who's a problem. It's his devotees, followers, who have changed this completely. Plus, the philosophy that Shankaracharya was saying, that you and I can become God, that's so contrary to Vaishnava philosophy. That yes, even though he was Lord Shiva, the pure devotee, but he was not acting like a pure devotee. Most of the time anyway. It's kind of ironic that, look at what he wrote, Lord Shiva, Shankaracharya, Lord Shiva Shankaracharya wrote Jagannath Ashtakam.
Yes.
Right? How pure, how devotional that is.
Yes,
right?
true.
He also said, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Mula Mate.
Mm.
Anybody who doesn't do that is Mula, fool. So he did all
Yes.
that. But the disciples of him just threw away all that, just took the impersonalist part and they ran with that. So Keshav Bharati is not Shankaracharya. He's following that. Right? So Keshav Bharati is totally impersonalist.
Okay.
Thinking that he's God. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya didn't want to have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
प्रभुजी
हाँ माताजी बोलिए.
चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने ईश्वरपुरी से नहीं उनके गुरु थे.
हाँ थे, उनके इनिशिएशन उसे हुआ था, लेकिन संन्यास उन्होंने केशव भारती से लिया.
अच्छा.
उनके संन्यास गुरु नहीं थे.
तो प्रभु जी ये जो ईश्वरपुरी माधवेंद्रपुरी थे ये भी क्या मतलब शंकराचार्य के ये संप्रदाय ये जो लिखा है जो
So you think about it, Puri is also one of the impersonalist names. 10 names he was giving. Puri is one of them, right?
And they
Number 10 is
reside in
Puri.
Jagannath Puri and Purushottam Kshetra. So are they also from that sect?
Well, so they're pure Vaishnavas, but the sannyas may have taken from that sect.
Okay.
That's where the name comes from. But same thing, Lord Chaitanya, they're pure devotees. I mean, you don't get more pure than Lord, and then Ishwar Puri and Madhavendra Puri. Doesn't get pure than that.
मेरे दिमाग में भी आ रहा था कि वो भी पूरी लिखते हैं.
Exactly. Okay.
Prabhuji, one question.
Bolo.
Prabhuji, in the purport, it's mentioned Vishnu Swami Vaishnav Sampradaya. What's that?
So, there are 4 sampradayas. Ours is Gaudiya, Brahma, Madhva Sampradaya. So that's us. Then you have Rudra Sampradaya. That's, I think, and I get mixed up. That's, I think, Nimbarkacharya. Then you have Shri Sampradaya. That's Vishnu Sampradaya. Sorry, I could have wrong, but it's one of the 4 sampradayas. So you have Shri Sampradaya, you have Rudra Sampradaya, you have Kumar Sampradaya, and you have Brahma Gauda. Right? So Vishnu Swami is one of those. Sometimes I get mixed up, but I think it's
so Rudra Sampradaya, Prabhuji. He wrote
Rudra
a commentary on that. Rudra Sampradaya.
Okay, Rudra Sampradaya.
Vishnu Sampradaya.
Yeah, sorry, I get mixed up. Okay, did I answer your question, Nana? Okay, all right.
Prabhuji, one question.
हाँ बोलिए.
इनिशिएशन मास्टर अलग हैं और जो संन्यास देते हैं वो अलग हैं.
That was quite traditional in those days. आप
So
ISKCON
how
में तो ISKCON में it doesn't happen. But for example, Srila Prabhupada, who was his initiating guru?
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati
Right.
Thakur.
Who was his sannyas guru?
Was a disciple of his Guru Maharaj,
Correct.
his
Bhakti
god
Pragya.
brother.
Bhakti Pragya Krishna Maharaj. But in his case, it was like Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj had left his body. But typically, it was quite common that you have initiation from one, a sannyas from another one. Right? ISKCON doesn't do that. If the guru is still alive, then same guru gives sannyas also. But if the guru is not alive, so for example, Bhakti Bhag Swami took sannyas initiation from Gopal Krishna Maharaj. But again, Prabhupada wasn't there. That's why. Otherwise, common practice in ISKCON is same guru gives sannyas and initiation.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. All right. Text 35. तार युगावतार जानी गर्ग महाशय कृष्णेर नाम करने करियाछे निर्णय. So now it's going to when Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram's naming ceremony was going on, Nam Sanskaran. So who came to give them name?
Garg Muni.
Garg Muni, correct. Garg Muni. So he says, this verse says, knowing him, Lord Chaitanya, to be the incarnation of Kaliyuga, Garg Muni, during the naming ceremony of Krishna, predicted his appearance.
Oh.
So how? We have to go to this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8, Text 13. And that is this verse. Asan varnas trayohi asya granatan anuyugam tanu shuklo raktas tathapita idanim krishnatam gata. This boy Krishna has three other colors: white, red, and yellow, as he appears in different ages. Now he has appeared in transcendental blackish color. So Garg Muni is saying, this time this boy has appeared in blackish color. But in other ages, he has also appeared already in three different colors. Shukla means white, Rakta means red, Pit means yellow. So we can get an idea of who we are talking about, the yellow color. Okay, but let's keep going, then we'll come back. Text 37. Shukla Rakta Pita Varna Eitina Dyuti Satya Teta Kali Kale Dharena Shripati. White, red, and yellow, these are the three bodily lusters that the Lord, the husband of the goddess of fortune, assumes in the ages of Satya, Treta, and Kali. So Satya Yuga mein is white color, Treta mein it is red color, Kali mein is yellow color, and Dwapar mein is the black color.
Black.
So this is back in Dwapar 5,000 years ago. Garg Muni has said that. So talked about yellow, obviously referring to Lord Chaitanya. Okay. Idanim Dwapare ho Haila Krishna Varn Ei Sab Shastragam Puraner Marm. Now in the Dwapar Yuga, the Lord had descended in a blackish hue. This is the essence of the statements in the Puranas and Vedic literatures with reference to the context. So again, our next verse is sorry? Sorry, somebody wants to ask a question? Okay, so if you don't have a question, I have a question. So this is talking about Lord Chaitanya appearing 4,586 years after Lord Krishna. Right? Everybody got that because we read the purport? Okay, so now I have to question. Who appeared first? Radha and Krishna or Lord Chaitanya?
Simultaneously, they appeared all together.
Okay, explain that.
I don't remember the explanation, but you told us in one class that
Oh, did I?
there-
Okay. Yes, so the answer is correct. I want to make sure everybody remembers, because they are all eternal. Lord Chaitanya is eternal, Radharani is eternal, Krishna is eternal. Eternal means they were always there. There never was time, but they were never there. Now let me ask you a different question. It says that Radharani appeared from the left side of Krishna, which means before that Krishna was alone.
No.
Okay, you tell me.
It is never there like he is alone.
No, but,
Radharani is always with him.
but it's saying Radharani appeared from the left side of Krishna.
Prabhuji, it's just a manifestation of energy, but otherwise they are all one.
Okay, no, but that's not what she's saying. She's saying that they were always there. There never was time they were not there, which was eternal means. You're saying she was energy and manifested as the Radharani, which is what we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. She's the manifestation of Ladini Shakti.
Yes.
Right? So let me confuse you even more. So before Radharani appeared, was it Lord Chaitanya or was it Lord Krishna?
Krishna.
Krishna.
But Lord Chaitanya, them combined is Lord Chaitanya. So if they were not separate, they were combined. There's Lord Chaitanya. Do you understand my logic?
No.
But I'm only trying to confuse you. All it means is they're all eternal. We cannot try and understand kaun pehla hai, baad mein hai. They were all there always.
Yeah.
So rest is only for us materialist, not materialist, but people with material mind, where we cannot go beyond the concept of time zero. So we cannot go beyond the point that there was no start, there was no beginning. We cannot comprehend that. That's why we get confused. But the real answer is yes, Lord Chaitanya always existed, Radharani always existed, Lord Krishna always existed. There's no, and we'll talk later on, they separated only to taste the Lila Ras. So we'll talk about that later on. But let's understand, let's not get confused, no matter what anybody says, they're all eternal. Okay? All right. Text 39. द्वापरे भगवान श्यामा पीतवासा निजायुधा शिवत्सादि शिवत्सादि फिर अंकश्च लक्षणैर उपलक्षिता. In the Dwapar Yuga, the personality of Godhead appears in a blackish hue. He is dressed in yellow. He holds his own weapons. It is decorated with custom jewel and marks of Shivatsa. This is how his symptoms are described. This is from Bhagavatam 11.527, spoken by Karbhajan to King Nimi. Okay, so this is King Nimi appeared way before Lord Krishna. But Karbhajan is already telling him that in Dwapar he'll appear in blackish hue, dressed in a yellow dhoti. He'll have his own weapons. He'll have costume jewel and he'll have Shivatsareka. Shivatsareka, everybody knows, Lakshmiji, the waft of hair, white hair, or grey hair, whatever you want to call it, representing Mother Lakshmi. Okay? Text 40. Kaliyuge Yugadharm Namer Prachar Tathilagi Pitavarna Chaitanya Avatar. The religious practice for the age of Kali is to broadcast the glories of the holy name. Only for this purpose has the Lord in a yellow color descended as Lord Chaitanya. Okay, let's do the purport. Who wants to read it?
I can read it, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead, Gautam.
In this age of Kali, the practical system of religion for everyone is the chanting of the name of Godhead. This was introduced in the age by Lord Chaitanya. Bhakti Yoga actually begins with the chanting of the holy name as confirmed by Madhavacharya in his commentary on the Mundaka Upanishad. He quotes this verse from the Narayana Samhita. Dwapartair Janair Vishnu, Pancharatraistu Kevalai, Kalautu Nama Martrena, Ujate Bhagavan Hari. In the Dwapara Yuga, people should worship Lord Vishnu only by the regulatory principles of the Narada Pancharatra and other such authorized books. In the age of Kali, however, people should simply chant the holy names of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Hare Krishna mantra is specifically mentioned in many Upanishads, such as Kali Santarana Upanishad, where it is said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Sodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. Nata Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. After searching through all the Vedic literature, one cannot find a method of religion more sublime for this age than the chanting of Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So basically, he's declaring that the religious practice for the age of Kali is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And that's the only purpose that the Lord has come here as Lord Chaitanya. And in the purport is quoting, Prabhupada is quoting Kali Santarana Upanishad, which talks about the 16 word name, 16 word mantra, which consists of the holy names of the Lord. There are actually only 3 names, Hare, Krishna, and Ram. And they destroy all the contamination of the age of Kali. And there's no better way to do that in the age of Kali than this chanting of the holy name, as proven by, established by all the Vedas. Okay. Let's do the next couple, then we'll stop. Text 41. Tapta hem samukanti prakanda sharir, navamekh jini kantha dhvani jagambhir. The luster of his expansive body resembles molten gold. The deep sound of his voice conquers the thundering of newly assembled clouds. Okay, so the color we've been saying is molten gold. Who else has that color?
Chaitanya.
Radharani. So why did Lord Chaitanya take that color, that luster?
Because he has to come in the mode of Radharani. The mood of Radharani.
Okay, you can take anybody's mood, you don't get the color.
Because he wanted to understand Radha's love for him, and he wanted to know how she's experiencing so much bliss, while serving me.
Yeah, but Aditi, that's the right answer to the wrong question. That's not the question I asked.
Okay, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'm saying, why did he take that color? Mood, yes. You answer the question, why did he take the mood?
Radharani gave him that color to protect him from...
Right. So between her mouthfuls, my wife is saying that Radharani said, you can't handle the ecstasies you will feel when you take my mood. You'll have the Ashtasattvik Vikar, your hair will stand on end, you'll laugh like a madman, you'll cry like a madman, you'll fall down, you'll experience sweating, you'll experience trembling of the body, you'll experience the changing of the color of your body. All that you will not be able to handle. I have to protect you. So to protect him from all these ecstasies he will experience, she said, you need my complexion. So she gave him her complexion as a kavach, as a shield from all these ecstasies, because otherwise he's going to hurt himself and just go completely crazy. So that's the reason. She got the mood to experience what Aditi Mataji was saying, but she gave the color also, so she can't handle it. So take my color. So he took that color also as protection.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's a very complex description.
Is it understood though?
But the easiest description is when the dark and light color means the result is always light.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Then we'll go to text 42. दैर्घ्य विस्तारे से जय आपनार हाथ चारि हस्त होय Mahapurush Vikhyat. So it's describing or defining what is a Mahapurush. One who measures 4 cubits. Anybody know what cubit is? No? So okay, look at my hand. So from the elbow to the finger, that's 1 cubit. Hindi mein bolte hast, haath. It's almost 18 inches long. 1.5 feet. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe 1 3/4 feet. So it said here, Lord Chaitanya's height was 4 cubits. So how long is that in feet or inches? 7
6
feet.
feet.
7 feet. So that's why I said it's more than 18 inches, say about maybe 22 or something like that. It's 1 3/4 feet. So Lord Chaitanya was 7 foot tall. Okay. And his breadth is 1 hand. So 20 inches, 22 inches, whatever that is width. Then 43 says, very interesting, Nyagrodh Parimandal Hoy Tair Naam, Nyagrodh Parimandal Tanu Chaitanya Gunadham. Such a person is called Nyagrodh Parimandal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who personifies all good qualities, has the body of a Nyagrodh Parimandal. Purport, no one other than Supreme Lord himself, who is engaged the conditioned souls by his own illusory energy, can possess these bodily features. These features certainly indicate incarnation of Vishnu and no one else.
Oh.
So that's the name given, Nyagrodh Parimandal. I'm not sure exactly what it means. But anyway, that's what it's called. But next verse is more clear. Ajanu lambit bhuja kamal lochan til phul jini nasa sudhansh vadan. So Ajanu lambit, does anybody know what that means?
Hand still knees.
Huh?
Hand still knees. Hands are long, which touches the knees.
Yeah, hands to reach the knees of the person. Do you in your life know anybody like that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You do?
Yes, people used to say like Subhash Chandra Bose was Ajanu Bahu.
Oh, really? Okay, I never heard that. Okay, anyway, it's very rare.
Yes, it's rare.
Okay. So, anyway, so his arms are long enough to reach his knees. His eyes are just like lotus flowers. His nose is like a sesame flower. And his face is as beautiful as the moon. So, I mean, these are all metaphors being used. His face is as beautiful as the moon. So, one time actually Lord Krishna said that to Radharani. You are as beautiful as moon. And she got angry. And she said, oh, I know why you're doing this. You're thinking about Chandravali. That's why I keep taking the name Chandra. He said, no, really, I was talking about your beauty. You know, the moon in the sky. I said, the moon in the sky, its beauty increases or decreases. Waxing moon is increasing. After Purnima, it starts decreasing. Are you telling me that some days I look good, some days I don't look good? My beauty is increasing, decreasing every day. Are you telling me that? I said, no, I don't mean that. I mean, you know, the moon of Purnima, the full moon. Oh, you mean I have spots on my face? You know, how there's blemishes on my face? Are you telling me that? So Krishna said, no, really. I just mean you're very beautiful. She says, okay, why did you just say that? So sometimes comparing with moon is not a very good idea. Anyway, 45. Shanta Danta Krishna Bhakti Nishtha Parayan Bhakta Vatsal Sushila Sarva Bhutesa. Is peaceful, self-controlled, fully devoted to the transcendental service of Lord Krishna, is affectionate toward his devotee, is gentle, and is equally disposed toward all living beings. So, let's talk about these 2 points. Actually, maybe more. The second sentence is affectionate towards his devotees. He loves the devotees so much, he'll do anything for them. He'll show them his roop according to their taste. So for example, what is the name of the devotee who was worshipper of Lord Nrsimhadev? Shivas. He showed him Nrsimhadev. Mukunda, who was Hanumanji, he showed him Lord Ram. Some other devotees showed his Lakshmi Roop, so on and so forth. So according to the taste of the devotee or his affection, he'll do all that. He's very gentle. Obviously, he doesn't get upset with people. He's equally disposed toward all living beings. So he says, Lord Chaitanya said, no discrimination. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you have done. It doesn't matter how sinful you are, even as sinful as Jagai Madhai. I'll give you my mercy anyway. So it's very, he didn't care whether you're pure devotee or non-devotee. He was willing to give you mercy. So samoham sam bhuteshu. So he was equal to everybody. Okay. Now how did he decorate himself? Chandnere Angadabala Chandan Bhushan Nityakale Parikare Krishna Sankirtan. Is decorated with sandalwood bangles and armlets and anointed with the pulp of sandalwood. He especially wears these decorations to dance in Shri Krishna Sankirtan. Okay. Okay, last 47. Ei sab gun loya moi vaishampayan sahastra name kailtar naam ganan. Recording all these qualities of Lord Chaitanya, the sage Vaishampayan included his name in the Vishnu Sahasranam. Okay, so we're going to stop here. We'll just talk about this particular point. We'll start text 48 next time. Okay, I want to make a couple of comments. Anybody knows who Vaishampayan is? He's a disciple of Vyasadeva. And he's known as the traditional narrator of Mahabharata.
Oh.
Okay. Now, Vishnu Sahasranam, as you all know, was, who sang that? Who sang Vishnu Sahasranam?
Bhishma Pitamaha.
Correct. To whom?
To Yudhishthir.
Correct. Very good. So, you see, Maharaj asked a question and Bhishma Pitamaha answered. So, this Vishnu Sahasranam is in Mahabharata, in what's known as Anushasan Parva. Okay. There's some other versions of, there's multiple versions of Vishnu Sahasranam. Vishnu Sahasranam. Some are in Padma Puran, and some are in Skanda Puran, and some are in Garuda Puran. So the 3 different Puranas and Mahabharata that have Vishnu Sahasranam, but they're all different. Okay, and then Padma Puran, very interesting. Padma Puran also says 1,000 names of Vishnu are equal to what?
One time Harinam.
One name of Ram. And then Brahma Vaivat Puran says 3 names of Ram are equal to
Krishna.
one name of Krishna.
One name of
So
Krishna.
3,000 names of Vishnu equal to one name of Krishna. So your choice. You can say Vishnu Sahasranam 3 times. You can say Krishna once. Same results. Even though they're non-different. So talk about getting confused. But that is what the Puranas say. We don't argue with the Puranas. Otherwise, Vyasadeva gets upset. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop here. Any questions or comments?
They're non-different quantitatively, but they're similar qualitatively. That's what you mean.
No, they're not different qualitatively,
Okay.
but they're also different qualitatively. There are 4 qualities of Krishna that nobody has. What are those 4 qualities?
Friendship.
Sorry?
Lila, Venu, Rupa, and Madhura.
Yes, the Madhuris. Lila Madhuri,
Venu
Venu
Madhuri
Madhuri,
Madhuri,
Rupa
Rupa
Madhuri,
Madhuri,
Madhuri.
and
Yes.
Prem Madhuri.
Lila, Rupa, Prema, yeah.
Okay. So for nobody has that. Even Lord Narayan, Lord Ram, nobody has that. So for example, you say, well, wait a minute, but in the Vaikuntha Lokas, Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan, they're sitting with Lakshmi. Is that not Madhurya? Yeah, but it's like 0.01%. The relationship between Mother Lakshmi and Lord Narayan or Lord Vishnu is very formal. You know, oh Pati Dev, you know, that kind of thing. Oh Dev, oh Pati Dev. They don't joke around, they don't tease each other, they don't fight. Not like Radha and Krishna. Lakshmi never gets angry with Lord Vishnu. She's always submissive, always. So it's a very small amount of Madhurya. But in full, it is only in Vraja, especially Vrindavan.
प्रभु जी अभी आपने क्या कहा था ट्रेडिशनल कौन है महाभारत के जो वैशम पायन है वो क्या है
Traditional narrator of Mahabharata.
ट्रेडिशनल नरेटर ऑफ महाभारत ओके
You know how some people develop reputation? So that was his reputation.
एंड आई somehow fail to understand कि राधा रानी ने गोल्डन कलर से ही क्यों वो प्रोटेक्ट हो पाएंगे
That was her color. You give what you have, right? This is how I protect myself, so I'm going to give it to you. Like, you know, if you don't have
yeah.
$1 million,
Understood.
yeah, okay.
I have few questions, sorry. I might confuse others.
No, go ahead.
जो श्लोक है ईश्वर परमः कृष्ण आदि अनादिर सच्चिदानंद विग्रह ये जो सच्चिदानंद है ये यही है because he is the Lord Chaitanya's mother's name is Sachi.
No, Sat Chit Anand. This is no Sachi. Sat.
Okay.
These are three eternal, cognizant, and pleasure. These are three qualities of the Lord.
Okay, so that's Sat Chit Anand.
Sat Chit Anand. Eternity, cognizant, and pleasure.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Go ahead.
We've been reading that हमारी जो वैष्णव परंपरा is going on for ages, like started from Krishna through Brahmaji, and then how come it was not prominent at the time of Lord Chaitanya?
So, sorry, ask the question again one more time.
I said we've been reading that our parampara is flowing non-stop. Where were all those Vaishnav at the time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to take sannyas, and where were those paramparas? Why there was a diversion of impersonalism when there were already existing Vaishnava paramparas?
Yeah, so you have to go back to the history and ask yourself, what was the need for Shankaracharya to appear? What was the need for Lord Buddha to appear? You know, and then we can talk about what the need for Lord Chaitanya to appear and what was happening at that time. So understand that the Sampradaya starts with Krishna, then Lord Brahma, Brahma to Narad, Narad to Vyasadev, Vyasadev to so many other disciples, you know, including Madhvacharya was the disciple of, or a disciple of Vyasadev, and down the line, all the way to Madhavendra Puri, then Ishwar Puri, then Lord Chaitanya, it was coming down. But a majority of the people, you know, especially in the age of Kali, were getting more and more contaminated and therefore perverted and therefore sinful. So as a matter of fact, Lord Sadashiv got so concerned about what was happening in the material world that he performed austerities to Lord Mahavishnu. Tapasya, bahut saal tak. And then Lord Mahavishnu appeared, you know, and obviously they're equal, so they embraced and they said, you know, what's going on? And Lord Sadashiv said that, you know, this is what's going on, I'm very concerned, you do something. And Lord Mahavishnu said, you know what? I was thinking the same thing. So why don't we both go? So the combined to come as, who knows? Lord Sadashiva and Lord Mahavishnu combined to come as
Advaita.
Advaitacharya. Exactly, Advaitacharya. And he continued his concern. And that's why he was worshipping Shaligram Shila with that particular verse, Tulsi Dal Bhaten, Jalas Chulkenva, Vikrinitam Swamatmanam, Bhaktebha Bhaktvasila. Saying that anybody who offers Tulsi leaf with Ganga Jal to Shaligram, Lord Krishna sells himself. So he said, and with that, he used to call out, Krishna, please appear. So it was his calling, by his calling that Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya. So what was happening at that time? At that time, people were so much into sense gratification that it was intolerable. It was so bad that people will get their children married just to show off to the neighbors how rich they were. And those people who did not have children, they'll marry their cats or their dogs and spend the same amount of money to show off how rich they were. So like the thought process was like that. So it was, and at that time, Haridas Thakur had appeared. Shivas Acharya had appeared. These are all very much older than Lord Chaitanya. And they were all getting together, doing chanting and looking at the world and feeling bad. So Lord Chaitanya appeared. And so I won't go into the details of his appearance itself. You all know what happened. But anyway, so that was what's happening. So Lord Chaitanya, basically, then he spread the holy name, the whole Sankirtan movement he started, established it well, and then he gave it in the hands of the 6 Goswamis and some other disciples of his, who carried on very nicely. But then, for about 200 years, the whole philosophy got very perverted because of the Sahajiyas, these Bauliyas and Gaurang Nagaris, so many different sects. They appeared and they completely destroyed the movement of Lord Chaitanya. And they turned it from pure devotion service into self gratification. It became so bad that becoming a Vaishnava became a curse word. When somebody wanted to tell somebody he's a very low person, he said, oh, you're a Vaishnava. That's how bad it got. For 200 to 300 years, it continued like that. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur appeared. And he started studying. And at that time, British had big influence. And everybody was thinking that they are more of a gentleman, more of a royalty, more of a sophisticated person if they copy the British. So everybody was copying the British, and everybody was doing and saying whatever the British said. And British had only one goal. They had realized that the only way to destroy Indian culture is to make people think that the Shastras are bogus.
Yeah.
Give the Shastras bad name, and that's what happened. They were succeeding. The people stopped reading the scriptures. They start saying, oh, this is just mythology and it's all bogus, it's all nonsense, not practical, on and on. This became really bad. And then people start coming and declaring themselves to be God. And like even today, some people declare themselves to be God and they get followers. All that was going on. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he studied Quran, he studied Bible, then he studied Chaitanya Charitamrita. And that's what changed him completely. He said, this is real. And then he started writing essays and books and bhajans to convince people that this is real, and start changing people's minds and tell them the facts. And then he prayed to the Lord to give him a son who will carry on his work, because he alone cannot do that. So his son was born, is known as a ray of Vishnu. And that is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. He was known as Lion Guru. He was really bold, and he's the one who established that Brahman by caste is no Brahman. Real Brahman is Vaishnava. Vaishnava is superior to Brahmins. All those kind of things. And it's at that time that the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya started coming back. Then he opened 64 mutts in India, all over India actually, and established the whole GBC system and, preaching system, all those kind of things. And that's when it started taking off. So at Lord Chaitanya's time, it was happening. Then there's 230-year gap. That's his Bhaktivedanta Thakur, and then Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj, and then now Srila Prabhupada. They took the movement and brought it where it is today. That's a long answer to your question, but I hope I addressed what you were asking.
Yes, Prabhuji, how easy, like lust took over so many things so quickly. Absolutely.
Very interesting, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Mataji?
To know all this is very good, very good.
Thank you, Mataji. I've had some good teachers.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Anybody has any questions? Or should
I don't want to elongate the class, but I have a couple of things to say.
Okay.
Others can leave if they want
So,
to.
by the way, yeah, class is over. If you want to leave, that's fine. No problem. I'll let Mataji ask the questions. Go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah, sorry. Just for my own clarity, since we are talking that everybody exists simultaneously, there is nobody who comes first and who comes later, Radharani, Lord Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So just to gain clarity on this, so they are in their own abodes, in their own planets, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has his own planet on the boundaries of Golok Vrindavan, as you explained to us. So they're watching all the material worlds, and when they see that this material world is going towards Kaliyuga and worsening with time, they descend here, correct? And we people misunderstand it as, oh, Lord Krishna came first, then Radharani came, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. But spiritual understanding, they're there together in their own planets, abodes, but they come down seeing the miseries of the material world, correct?
So, yeah, correct. But I will add one more thing. When they come to the material world, it's not sequential. It's not like Lord Nrsimhadev came, then Lord Ram came, then Lord Krishna came, then Lord Chaitanya came. It's not like that. Why? Because it's cyclical. It's not the first time they came. Lord Krishna, for example, in every one day of Brahma, he comes. So Brahma has already lived 155 trillion years. This Brahma, forget about the ones before. This Brahma, which means Krishna has already come 155 trillion times 365 days. That's how many times Krishna has already come. That's how many times Lord Ram has come. That's how many times Lord Chaitanya has come. So it's a cyclical thing. It's not a one-time thing. It's just that over time, knowledge gets lost. Like Lord Krishna told Arjun in Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, that this knowledge was lost. Now I'm going to give you that knowledge back. So he says, I told sun god millions of years ago, then over a period of time it got lost. So now I'm going to give you the same knowledge back again. So that's what happens. We forget. There's such a long time between the incarnations. But as I said, this time, this creation, I don't know how many times creation has happened already. This creation, Krishna has already appeared 155 trillion times already.
But
So has
if we
Lord
talk,
Ram, so has Lord Chaitanya.
okay, yes. But if we talk about our Yuga,
Yes.
just came. Okay, yes.
Correct. And that's what happens. We get confused. We start thinking sequential, this Yuga. But yeah, true. This time, yes.
But actually, they're transcendentally existing.
Not only that, they also come to the material world. That's what I keep saying. Krishna has already come in this creation, this time, 155 trillion times already. Sorry, 55 trillion times 360 times. So whatever that number is, he's already come so many times. We're just lucky that he came 5,000 years ago. So you can see the Lila studies. You can see the, symbols and all those kind of things.
And also, Prabhuji, like simultaneously in other universes also.
Yeah, that's right. So forget about the other trillions of universes happening there.
Yes.
So, we can't even understand our own planet forget about our universe, forget about other universes. Very complicated.
Yes.
Just remember, it's not a one-time thing.
Okay, Prabhuji. Also, the overlapping we are talking about the transition that is happening from Dwapar to Kali Yuga, correct?
Any yug to any yug. So Satyug to Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug to Kali Yug, back to Satyug. It's all typical. But you always have overlapping.
Yeah. So isn't it going to last for 10,000 years?
No, that's something different.
That's
You're
something
talking about
different.
the golden age for
Hmm.
10,000 years. That's different.
Okay. Okay, maybe we'll discuss it later in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, for
Okay.
amazing class. Thank you
Sure.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnava. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Gautam Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Thank you, Devjani. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Kalini Mataji. Thank you, Ruchira Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Take care. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the class, Prabhu.
Sure,
Hare
Prabhu. You're very welcome. Sabita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Padmashira Mataji, Hare Krishna.